Hey, I'm Briarley and welcome to Dare to Hope. As you can see today, I am in another location. I swear I'm always changing locations. I am in Timaru. It is the start of my uni holidays and I am in our house. All our stuff is here and there's still boxes and everything, but it's all cool. Today I've decided to do a baking video similar to Caitlin's last video, so it's a theme for these 2 weeks. This week I'm going to be baking Belgian biscuits. They're kind of common here in New Zealand. They're like brown biscuits with like jam in the middle and icing on top. I am using a recipe because I'm not cool enough to remember. It's from the Great New Zealand Cookbook. Before we start the actual cooking, we need an apron. In the true spirit of New Zealand, I have my sheep apron. First step, we need to preheat the oven to 180 degrees. We're also going to line our baking tray. I'm going to use baking paper, but you can use butter. I mean, not butter, like oil or butter. Just grease it or line it. I'm just going to be using a glass bowl. So first we want to measure out 125 grams of butter. So we have 125 grams of butter in the bowl. I chopped it into little pieces so that it melts quicker. I'm going to put the sugar in with the butter in the microwave slightly to prevent it from burning, but I don't even know. This is just what my mum does, so I do it as well. The recipe calls for brown sugar, but because we're in a new house, we don't have all the ingredients. So I'm using white sugar instead. Just need 1/4 cup of brown sugar or white sugar if you're me. Just put that in. And then we're going to chuck this in the microwave, give it a stir, see if it's melted, and yeah, do it until it's melted. So our sugar and butter is melted together, and now we are going to crack in 1 egg and stir until well combined. Now we're going to sieve 1 3/4 cups of plain flour into the mixture. And then on top of this flour, just so it gets sifted in at the same time, I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And sieve that in as well. There are 3 different spices that we're going to be putting into the mixture now. 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, and 1 teaspoon of mixed spice. Please excuse the oven in the background. We're also going to put in 1 teaspoon of cocoa. So now we've got pretty much all of our dry ingredients in here, and we're just going to stir that until combined. Oh no, it's going everywhere. I have combined the dough together and this is what it looks like. Now the recipe says to roll the dough between 2 pieces of baking paper until it is about 3 millimeters thick. Huzzah, we got rid of the random light patch. Just gonna get the dough and put it on here. I'm gonna get another piece and just put it on top. And then I'm gonna get the rolling pin and roll it out. I have rolled my dough out. I'm trying to show you. This is kind of what it looks like. I'm not sure it's actually 3 millimeters thick, but that's the thickness I want, so that's the thickness I'm going to do. It says to use a round cookie cutter, but we don't have that in this household, so I'm using a heart cookie cutter, and this one that is like jagged edges. That's round, but not round entirely. So you want to make sure you do even amounts of both if you're using 2. Yeah, so just cut it out. I have cut my cookies, as you can see. So now I have to lift them carefully and put them on the line tray. I'm going to use this flat thing that I found to put them on the tray. As you might have seen when I showed you the close-up of the cookies, there was a lot of excess dough. I am not a believer in wasting batter, so I am going to put this into another bowl and roll it out and cut some more cookies, and it'll be sweet. This is the last one. So now the cookies are done, I'm going to set my timer for 12 to 15 minutes as the recipe suggests, so I'm going to set it for 10 minutes and have a look at them by that time. So I just had to pop out and buy some icing sugar and food colouring because, like I said, we're in a new house and I didn't realise that we didn't have anything. I have lifted the cookies out. They have been cooling for the past like 20 minutes, half an hour. I just cooked them until they were golden brown. Now we need to make the icing and this pink sugar to go on the top. The recipe says to use 1 cup of icing sugar, but to start off with, I'm just going to use half a cup because I can always make more later. Sift the icing sugar into a bowl. It says to use 2 drops of pink food colouring, but I have red and I feel like that is going to do the same job. If I can actually open it. Hey, haha. So that was meant to be 2 drops and it was totally 2 drops. I'm just going to use warm water from the jug, and you don't want to add too much water at the start. Just want to add it as you go so that you don't end up with icing that is too runny. A little bit of water can go a long way. Once you've combined it all together, you should get a good icing. You want it to be spreadable. So that's the icing, and then on top of the icing you are going to put coloured sugar, white sugar, and you just get a tablespoon, and then you want to put it into a bowl. Get your food colouring again, and just 1 drop. Just want to mix that, and hopefully it will turn your sugar either red or pink. Didn't turn out as well as I wanted it to. I feel as though to make this recipe work better, you definitely need pink food colouring. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of like all different colours, but I reckon they'll look cool, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Then you're going to grab your cookies and you're going to ice half of them and put jam in the other half of them. I'm using blackcurrant jam. The recipe suggests raspberry jam, but to me you could use any berry jam you wanted, even plum, because I was thinking of using plum, but blackcurrant jam it is for me. Woo! So you're going to get half of biscuit and put a dob. I'm just going to put that much on, spread it around. So you want to do that to half of your cookies. Make sure your jam isn't too runny because you don't want it to make your biscuits soggy. You're going to want to get the other half of the biscuit, its friend, and you're going to get a nice dollop of icing, and then get your sugar, put a little bit of it on the top, and there you have your top. And then once you have done that one, get your other half and sandwich it together. And there we have a Belgian biscuit. Yay! Here is a word. Word. That's not my part. Word of the week is going to be cooking, because Caitlin stole baking last week, but she was allowed to because we didn't know that I was going to be doing this. So thank you for watching this video. I hope that you really liked it. Let me know down in the comments, like, what's your favorite thing to eat? I'll link Caitlin's latest video in the description. She made butterfly cupcakes and they look so good. Have an awesome week, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time. Bye!